The Wolf and the 7 Little Goats.
Once upon a time, in a cozy little cottage at the edge of the forest, there lived a mother goat with her 7 little kids. They were a happy family, and the mother goat loved her children dearly. One day, she had to go into the forest to gather food, and so she called her little ones together.
Dear children, I need to go into the forest. Be careful while I'm gone. The wolf is very cunning and dangerous. If he gets in, he will eat you all up. But don't worry, you can recognize him by his rough voice and his black paws,
she said. The 7 little goats nodded eagerly.
We will be careful, Mother. We won't let the wolf in,
they promised. With that, the mother goat bleated a loving goodbye and set off into the forest. The little goats locked the door behind her and settled in to play. But the bad wolf was already hiding behind the window, and he heard their conversation. The wolf was very hungry. In order to trap the little goats, he came up with a plan. It wasn't long before there was a knock at the door, and a voice called out. It was the wolf.
"Let me in, dear children. Your mother is back and has brought something for each of you,"
said the wolf. But the little goats were clever and recognized the rough voice of the wolf.
We won't open the door. You're not our mother. She has a soft, gentle voice, and yours is rough. You must be the wolf,
they cried. The wolf, realizing he had been caught, went away in frustration, but he was determined to trick the little goats. The wolf quickly went back to the forest and found a beehive. He ate honey, thinking his voice would become a little softer. The wolf returned to the goat's house and said,
Let me in, dear children. Your mother is back and has brought something for each of you.
Although the baby goats were convinced with the sweet voice, but they grew cautious. This time, the baby goats decided to check Wolf's feet. One of the baby goats peeped through the space at the end of the door. He saw the black feet with scary big nails. It was definitely not his mother's feet.
We won't open the door. Our mother doesn't have black paws. You must be the wolf,
they shouted. The wolf was angry and frustrated, but he was not ready to give up. He went to the grocery shop and, not finding anyone there, quickly smeared the white rice flour on his feet. His feet were now white like the mother goat. The wolf returned to the goat's house and said,
Let me in, dear children. Your mother is back and has brought something for each of you.
This time the goats looked through the door and saw the paws. They were white. Since the voice was sweet and feet were white, the baby goats believed it was their mother. They unlatched the door and opened it. To their horror, in walked the wolf. The baby goats were terrified. They ran from one place to other, trying to hide themselves. The wolf caught the baby goats one by one and packed them in his sack. After having put all the baby goats in his sack, the wolf headed back to his home in the forest happily. Only one baby goat who managed to hide in the big clock was left behind. Soon after, the mother goat returned home. She saw the door wide open and knew something terrible had happened. She searched the house and found it empty, but when she opened the clock, out sprang her youngest kid, the only one the wolf had not found. The little goat told her everything. The mother goat was heartbroken, but she was determined to save her children. She set out with the youngest goat to find the wolf. In the meantime, the wolf was tired of carrying the baby goats and thought of taking a quick nap. When they reached the meadow, they found the wolf fast asleep under a tree and a sack beside him. There was something inside it as the sack was moving. The mother goat and the baby goat went quietly near the wolf. The wolf was fast asleep. The mother goat very quietly opened the sack, and out came the 6 baby goats. The mother goat was very happy and relieved to see all her babies alive. But this time, Mother Goat wanted to teach the wolf a lesson, and so she filled the sack with stones and packed it again. She quickly placed the sack near the wolf again. The mother goat with her baby goats hid behind the tree and watched the wolf. After a short while, the wolf woke up, picked up the sack, and hurried back home. On the way back home, the wolf came across a river with strong flow. He went ahead to cross the river, but due to the heavy sack, he slipped and fell down in the river. The strong flow of the river carried him away. The 7 little goats and their mother danced with joy. They lived happily ever after, safe from the wicked wolf. The story teaches the importance of being cautious and not trusting strangers, even if they appear familiar. It also highlights the themes of bravery and cleverness. The end.